Hi everyone, this is Mariella from Binary Option Sheriff. This will be our third and last post with understanding Japanese candlesticks. This is probably the most important part of understanding Japanese candlesticks because I will explain how the relationship of different shapes and colors of or volumes of different Japanese candlesticks when they are together, how they are going to be telling us what is going to happen in the future in a trending market. I need to make the distinction between a trending market and a market which is static and a market which is volatile. So a static market is when you don't want to trend, absolutely not even think about it. This is when you sleep at night. If you're meant to be asleep, you are not meant to be trading. However, when the market is asleep, when the market there is no actual movement, you will want to avoid trading because the price will only just stay around the surface of where you will have touched it. There's no money to be made there, so we want to avoid it. A trending market is our best market because it's going to show us when a situation when a price is going to be nicely climbing up. Sometimes it takes a couple of steps back and we might take advantage of that, but basically so they're either going to be climbing up or climbing down. So having a trend set is going to be able to help us understand when is going to be our time to make some money trading binary options or forex. A volatile market is like a rough sea. Unless you have a good stomach for it, please don't try it. That is when you check the economic calendar, and if you're a new trader, I would recommend that you avoid it because until you understand how you can scale a market which is very volatile due to news announcements, really stay away from troubled waters. So let's discuss the best kind of water that we are going to be sailing on, and that is a trending market. What happens on the surface of the trending market is what we are going to try to understand in this last session by understanding the shapes and bodies of Japanese candlesticks. Before I continue any further, I would like to remind you that it's very important to subscribe to our YouTube channel because you keep getting updates and also links to previous posts that we would have put up, which will give you a complete picture and knowledge, as well as clicking on our Sheriff University where you can find all that I am saying in this post written so that you will have time when you're quiet to go over it and study it and also help yourself understand this. So, today we are going to go over we have already gone through the basic shapes. We have gone into the different volumes of candlesticks, but today we are going to see the combination of the marriages between different candlesticks, different colors, so they're going to be either interracial or as they're going to be the same color but in different shapes. So we start off by the first pair of candlesticks today, and these are going to be the tweezer bottoms and tweezer tops. So when we're looking for a perfect trade setup, we're always searching for the right entry time. Therefore, finding a strong reversal pattern is absolutely quintessential for us to be able to make money trading binary options. The tweezers or the dual candlesticks, as we are seeing now, show us that there is a possibility of a reversal pattern. So after a long session of a downtrend, as we are seeing here, or after a long session of an uptrend, when we see the tweezer tops or the tweezer bottoms, this is going to indicate a very strong possibility that the market is going to change. The market is going to reverse, and this is where we want to pick our market in order to make some money. Where do we want to make a trade? We want to make a trade at this point here because the market is going to reverse. Can you imagine in binary option trading, you are taking the market at this point because you understand what tweezer bottoms are, and then you take a call trade. If you are looking in this situation, you are taking the price at this point and you will have a put trade and you are bound to be making some serious money. Same with Forex, you are going to be gaining some very important pips. So what is the behavior of these tweezer tops or tweezer bottom? The first candlestick has the same behavioral pattern as the general trend. So if we look at the tweezer bottoms, the tweezer that forms at the bottom here is of the same red color. It's the same downtrend. Whereas the next tweezer that happens is going to be the reversal candlestick, and it's going to be in a different color, which signifies that we are going to have a reversal. Same with tweezer tops. The first candlestick is going to be confirming the uptrend, whereas the second candlestick, which really, when you put them together, look like a pair of tweezers, is going to be of a different direction, or of a different color, or of a different volume, but it is going to show us that we are going to be looking at a different direction. This is where we want to start picking up our trades whenever we are going to see a reversal on a trend. While scrolling down on my site, I am looking at this post here, and this is what you can find a link below, which will give you $279 worth of free candlestick training by the owners of the James Nisson Foundation, who was the person to bring Japanese candlestick to the European world. Okay, I can have a breath and look at our next set of dual candlesticks. This time we are looking at the bullish and the bearish engulfing. As with everything else, whenever you have someone who is going to engulf someone else, it is because they are stronger. And these pair of candlesticks show us that there is a possibility of a reversal simply by looking at their shape. So what is important about an engulfing pair that will be able to show us that this is going to be a trend change? The first most important thing is looking at the shapes. If we look at this shape here, we have a small-bodied candlestick. So in this case, the sellers are being more and more diminutive, more small in size, and they are trying to fight to keep their stand in the market. The next candlestick, which of course always opens at the closing price of the previous one, has no wick at all, so it has no shadow, but it is a strong, long candlestick which totally engulfs the previous candlestick. In this case, it is the bullish engulfing. So the bulls in this particular case are engulfing the bears because it shows that there is a strong movement and that the bears themselves have become weak and tired. Same with the bearish engulfing. We have a very small candlestick with a price that is not much movement, whereas the next bearish engulfing is a long, strong candlestick. So now we are going to be looking at a different candlestick, which is called the harami candlestick. A harami candlestick, harami in Japanese, means a pregnant woman. So here we are looking at a pair of candlesticks which look like a mother and child. So the first candlestick, and this is a pair of candlesticks which can also be giving us signals that's going to be a reversal. The first candlestick, and we are looking at the moment at this visual, is a bullish harami. You have a very strong candlestick, which is a bearish candlestick, but the bullish candlestick is a smaller candlestick, and its real body is actually inside the bigger candlestick, pretty much like a pregnant woman. This is not a very strong candlestick in the dual Japanese candlesticks, but it's still an indicator to watch out for because it can give you an indication of a reversal. We are now going to be looking at the triple patterns. The triple patterns are very strong patterns, and these are really what we need to be looking at so that we will know when there is a trend reversal and kick in and do our trades. So here we have the morning star and the evening star. As they have been really nicely portrayed in this graphic here, we see that this is a very nice reversal um, trio of candlesticks. In a morning star, you have the first candlestick, which is a very strong maribuzo, which is a very strong, long candlestick. Even if the candlestick has a couple of shadows, very small shadows, top and bottom, it would still be valid. But if you have one very strong candlestick, which is confirming a trend, in this case would be a downtrend, and then after it, you have a spinning top, which is this candlestick here, also confirming the same trend, or could be even in a different color. This is showing us that after a long spin of sellers, the sellers are getting very exhausted. Once the sellers are exhausted and there has been this fight for price, and we can see this by means of this spinning top here, we have the candlestick that is immediately reversing, but it has to be a very strong, full candlestick. Same with evening star, you have an uptrend, so you have a nice long maribuzo here, then you have a spinning top which is confirming the trend, but it looks like it's exhausted trying to keep its position, and then immediately you have your nice long red candlesticks, which show that there is a reversal in trend, and this is when we need to pick up our trade. So our next trio of Japanese candlesticks are the three white soldiers, three black crows. Now, in terms of trios of candlestick, this is by far the strongest indicator of a reversal in a trend. And when you see this in reality, you are going to know that you are going to be able to set up a perfect trade. With three white soldiers, after a downtrend and a sizzle down at the bottom, you have three candlesticks which are all one larger than the other. When the first candlestick happens, you still don't know whether there is going to be a trend change or not. However, you get confirmation from the second candlestick, which barely has any shadows and which is a strong and which ends up always higher than the previous high. And finally, you have the third maribuzo, which is a full and strong and really nice candlestick, which means that the trend has now changed. A tip which is very important, you always look for a second and a third confirmation. As always, there will be a little bit of a pullback on the price because, of course, on the opposite directions, if it's an uptrend that is the reversal, the sellers are always going to kick in and get some position. Same as with in a seller's market, you will always have buyers who are trying to push the price back up. So be patient, make sure you have confirmation. If you are looking at 10-minute candlesticks, I would recommend to take a trade, which is probably for another half an hour, so that you can get your trend reversal as strong as possible, and make sure that you are not going sideways and out of the money. There are some other important candlesticks, which are the three inside up and down, very much looking like the previous candlesticks that we have seen earlier. And these are also a situation of candlesticks where we see that there is a situation that there is going to be a trend reversal. I recommend that you read the full written review of what we have discussed today in terms of candlesticks, how they work individually, what their shapes are, what happens when they marry each other off, and what happens when they are in a trio, because these are by far the best indicators that will help you set your best trade whenever you're looking at a live candlestick. I will do that one last time and see whether we can identify any beautiful trends. And this is a live trading chart for the euro and US dollar. It's a 5-minute chart. We've had a lot of different spikes. Probably there was some news here, so I cannot identify anything that would signify a trend reversal. I would probably go into a much longer in terms of time frame chart to be able to see that. And here we are. We have transferred ourselves from a 5-minute chart to a 30-minute chart, and here we are. This is some of what we have seen today in terms of candlesticks in practice. So we have from this point to this point we have an uptrend, but as what happens with uptrends, we have a pullback. Look at this beautiful set of candlesticks here, as we have discussed, where we have a very, very long doji, which is coming soon after almost a mariposa, although it has a little bit of a shadow. Another one confirming. Sometimes they don't happen as perfectly as we have seen on the graphics, but when you have a strong candlestick, and you can see here that the price was pulled down but it reconfirmed itself, finally you had your doji, and here is your reversal. In a 10-minute trade, you would have had 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes to take a put trade, and you would have been in the money, except for the spike here. And always, as I recommend, make sure that you have a trending market and that there isn't going to be some important news that is going to be announced during your trading, which might upset a trend because it would become volatile trading. Thank you very much for following. I hope that you have found these 3 sessions interesting. If you have just happened to be on this session, the previous 2 sessions will be also on links at the bottom of this page, so you can be able to go back and review whatever you weren't clear about earlier. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stay safe. If you want to trade without any capital risk, there is a link below where you can open a free demo account. Thank you very much. We'll be back with more information.